we're building on our heritage from the beginning to the end. You know, this is deepness right here. This is Local Heights Radio right here. This is what we do. We build about historical content, and we try to open up people's minds. So the young pastor here. I don't think he likes to call himself that, but he got some knowledge for your ears. Introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Ray Curry, and I've been studying history and theology from a historical perspective, from a scientific perspective for about 15 years now. Since I was 13 years old, I've been digging into these things. I'm 28, and I don't claim to know everything, but I've gone through enough material, enough books and catalogs and study for enough knowledge to know that God is God. And you cannot categorize God. You cannot put God into a category. You cannot put God into a box. He's bigger than your sect. He's bigger than your denomination, your religion, or your creeds. What you have to understand is the only place on earth that religion and science intersects would be the continent of Africa. It doesn't intersect any other place on earth. The Bible would tell you that in the Garden of Eden you could find the gold of Ethiopia, and science would tell you that man was created in an African continent. That is the only place on earth where paleontology, archaeology, geology, and so forth will remind you that man was created in the African continent. There's no other place that remind you of that. So you look in the scriptures for the people who subscribe to any of the Abrahamic religions, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Judaism, whether it be Islam or whatever. If you have an Abrahamic religion, all you need to do is listen to the one they called the Christ, who was Jesus, Yeshua or Issa, whoever you want to call him in your dialect. If you will listen to him, he said in John 8:58, when they was talking about their father Abraham, they were saying, we have Abraham to be our father. And they were so hyped up on being the descendants of this Jewish fellow, whatever he is. And Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am. So he wasn't worried about who's descended from Abraham. He wasn't worried about Abraham's customs, Abraham's means, because Abraham received the covenant through the order of Melchizedek. And if you look at Melchizedek, he was the king of Salem, or the Muslims, they say Salam. He was the king of Salam. He was the king of peace, which was in Mesopotamia, in Old Canaan, which is Hamitic. It was a black land at the time that Abraham grew up in and learned the tenets of his religion from. So Jesus said, before Abraham was, I am. So instead of trying to figure out the religion of Abraham, what you need to find out is, what was the religion of Adam? What religion did he have? When the first man walked around on the planet and communed with God, what was his religiosity? Was it to follow God by his spirit, or was it to hold to a whole bunch of tenets? So what we have to do is figure out how to connect with God by his spirit, by his power, by his life force, having God living in us, so that we can join to Adam. Like if you read the scriptures, the Bible says Jesus came to be the second Adam. So if he's the second Adam, he's trying to reconnect us to the religion of the first Adam that lost, who lost his place with God, lost his religion with God. So until we understand that, we're going to be fussing and fighting about all of these theologies and all of these sects. And, for instance, people want to fuss about the law and say we have to subscribe to the laws or whatever it is. What you have to understand was God was trying to have a covenant with a fleshly group of people. So God told them to do certain things through the flesh, eat certain things through the flesh. They couldn't wear certain things on their flesh because God was trying to deal with them through fleshly means. But even those people couldn't keep a covenant. So the Bible says what the law could not do, and that was weak, Christ did by his spirit, because the letter kills, but the spirit gives life.
Wow.
Therefore, the things they was trying to do in the law was because God was trying to connect to a fleshly group of people. Now he's not dealing with a fleshly Israel. He's dealing with a spiritual Israel, a superlative Israel. And we can't fulfill the law, no matter how hard you try. If we were justified by the law, there would be no need for a Christ or a redemption. So we are redeemed from the fleshly works of the law to keep the spiritual law of grace, the law that God written on the heart of every man, that those that are without law can be saved without law. Being saved by the laws of grace and the law that God put on man's heart. There are universal laws that you don't have to write them down in a book. Nobody have to tell you if it ain't yours, don't take it. Nobody have to tell you you can't take a man's life. Nobody have to tell you you can't take somebody's woman. Those laws are written upon our hearts, and those are the laws that God expects for us to keep. So we're worrying about what we're putting in our body, but we let it then get in our spirit. We hate our brother over some words that was written down, but we say we love God, who was made, and our brother was made in the image of God.
Right.
So we can't do these things, and those are the tenets that I want to pass down to the people who subscribe to Abrahamism, whether it be Judaism, whether it be Christianity, whether it be Islam. These are the brothers who are under Abrahamism. Since you are in the scriptures, since you read the Bible, I'm telling you to figure out your religion really. Figure out what Abraham was trying to learn. Figure out where Moses got it from. What he was taught when he was down in Kemet. And when he came up out of Kemet and had to lead a backwards group of people.
Wow.
So if we learn these things, we'll be able to set ourselves free. We'll get to know our Creator. We'll get to know our God. And we'll walk right in His path. And we'll do it by His Spirit and stop trying to do it by the letter. But if there's any more to go with that, I don't know what other opportunities I get, but I hope you take my words seriously and that we'll get to know God by His Spirit. Shalom, salam, peace, hotep. Y'all have a good one.
All right. Thank you. Knowledge.